welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I'm so excited because I ordered a bunch of things for myself for my birthday I think I ordered this like 2 weeks ago, so it really wasn't for my birthday. I just used my birthday as an excuse because I like buying things. I got a bunch of things from ColourPop that I'm gonna be trying, and I'm just so excited. Okay, so first let me show you what I got, and then we can get into the, the meat and potatoes of the video. The meat and potatoes? Are you fucking 70 years old? So first thing, I got one of the blushes from the Sailor Moon X ColourPop collab. Also, side note, packaging A1 on like all of this stuff. Look at the little holographic. Oh my god. And then there's a little, it's got the little cat imprinted on it, and I'm obsessed. I didn't realize that there was like some shimmer in the blush when I got it, but I don't think it's like that big of a deal, so it's whatever. It's still so cute. Then I got a Pretty Fresh concealer. I ordered online, so I don't know if I made the right decision color-wise, and I've also never had a concealer before, so I don't know what I'm like doing. If I could get this box open, that'd be cool. Why am I struggling? Okay. So that is that. I don't know if you can tell, like, on camera, but, like, it's pretty gray. Like, it's kind of got a gray tone, so I don't know if this is the right shade. But, like, oh, yeah, you can tell it's kind of too gray. But, like, on my face, I don't know. I can do something. If it is too gray, I can, like, do something to fix it, probably. Next thing, I got a little pressed glitter, because it was on sale for, like, I think, like, $2. So, woo! So this is the shade Tiny Nugget, and it is, hold on. You can't tell in, like, the lighting, but it's, like, a silvery, purpley, like, not holographic. What's the other word? I don't know, but y'all know what I'm saying, right? Next, I got 2 of their 9 pans. I got Mint to Be and Blue Moon. So that's exciting. Hold on, sorry, I was totally out of frame for a second. So this is Mint to Be. I like that it's like the plastic instead of the cardboard, because the Raw Beauty Christie box, or like tin, or whatever, like the palette packaging was cardboard, which is like fine, but like I like the plastic. So that's that. And it is so pretty. And green is my favorite color, so I had to get this, and I'm so excited to put this on my face. And there's also a little mirror in here. Let me see if I can... Is this a mirror? Am I stupid? Next, the Blue Moon palette packaging. Also the plastic little thing. It's cute. Ooh. Look at those. Because I only have like 2 or 3 eyeshadows that are blue, and so I needed some more. So I'm so excited. I'm just so excited. So what I'm doing today is playing with these. But I didn't want to just like sit and, oh, this one came off. Look at how easy that one is. Now you can see me. I didn't want to just come on here and play with makeup and then leave. You know, I want to give you guys some more than that. So if you saw on my community tab, I asked y'all to give me scary stories from your life. I asked for life experiences. Some of you just gave me regular stories or like urban legends. I won't be reading those just because I want to hear like you guys' stories. So if you commented a urban myth or legend or something, thank you, but I won't be including it in this video. But second thing. Oh, I also got, I got like a tiny beauty blender, so that's that. Because I've heard that their blenders are really good. I already this isn't an unboxing, so I had to go wet this. So that's that. It's really small. It's kind of cute. So I did not expect y'all to like pull through the way that you did when I asked for those scary stories. But you fucking did. I have so many that like, I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to be able to talk about every single one. Because I got like 40 comments on the community post. I got 4 emails, and I got 2 DMs. I'm no mathematician. That's a lot, okay? So I won't be able to do all of those. Maybe I'll do a part 2 to this. I probably will. So yeah, where's my computer? I have my computer here with my stories pulled up. I haven't read any of them because I wanted to be spooked and excited. So that's what we're doing. You can see my little chicken legs. I also got the other day, I got the Hydro Grip primer that I haven't used yet, and so I'm gonna use it. So let's stop talking and let's start getting scared. First one is from Madeline, and she says, congrats on 30K. Also, when I was 11 or 12, I saw a white figure under a tree. Is that too much? When it was lightning, and I was taking a ghost walk in a garden that used to be a TB? TB is tuberculosis, right? A TB hospital. It was so clear for a nanosecond and it freaked me out. I imagine it was an old patient that died there. All my family saw something that night. I think this was in Jersey or Amsterdam. I can't remember. Those are two very different places. So you were taking a ghost walk? So you were like actually out looking for them? That's cool. Angelica was definitely right with this primer. You have to like let it like sit on your face and like dry completely. It's pretty tacky, but not in like a bad way. It kind of feels like I'm putting aloe vera on. Oh yeah, my hair looks not great because I just got out of the shower because I wanted a fresh face for this. Marianne said, I have this music box in my bedroom that I've had since I was about 5 or 6. On my birthday last year at 6 in the morning, the music started playing completely by itself. I was still in bed and I literally hadn't touched the thing in years. Like the layer of dust on it was embarrassingly thick. I thought it was super weird, but I just kind of brushed it off. It happened again, months later, around Christmas at 4 a.m., scaring the shit out of me. I figured that there must have been a small earthquake or something to open it to make it play the music. I cleaned out my bedroom last week and decided to put this music box away since it kept creeping me out, and discovered to my horror that it only plays when the knob on the back is turned, not when it opens. Oh, okay. Fuck that. Sorry, but no. Okay, we're moving on to this concealer. And now's the test to see if I got the right shade. So, I've heard this is a good concealer though. I just don't... yeah, I don't think it is my shade, but I have a theory on like how I can make it work, you know? Yeah, definitely like a little too... Actually, maybe it's like not that bad. When it's blended out, it could be worse. I was really like stressed for nothing. Okay, next story. It's from Hisoka's Hair Grease. Awesome. I had a stalker, kind of. This old man would follow me from school back to my apartment every day for a good 2 months. He would wait for me to come out. Also, I did flag so I could leave early. That's how I knew he was following me. Oh, okay. One day he saw me without shoes walking to my trash can to my apartment and said, why don't you have shoes on? I'll buy you some shoes. I said big nope and ran inside. Turns out he did this to a lot of girls. Thankfully, he hasn't talked to me much, but yeah. As a feminine presenting person, it scared me. Fair enough. Edit, he did others like this, like hanging out in front of my apartment until I came out. Absolutely not. Yeah, men are fucking terrifying, and I hate that, and I'm sorry you had to deal with it. So this one is from Sour Patch Kid. Hold on, I'm gonna add a little bit. I'm kind of breaking out, starting my period soon. So I'm gonna, oh, that was probably too much, but it's okay. Just gonna go over where I think I need it. Okay, so this one is from Sour Patch Kid. When I was younger, maybe 13 or 14, I went over to my best friend's house for the first time. My best friend isn't easily scared. She's a skeptic like me since both her parents are hardcore atheists. One of them being a scientist, the other an IT technician. So she grew up in an intelligent and rational household. I know it might be difficult to attest to her character without making it seem like I'm trying to force you to believe it. But really, she's always been far more mature than her age suggests. They grew up in literally the middle of nowhere in this tiny one-story cottage that used to be a storage lodge on the grounds of a manor house, which had since been demolished. It's not like the most full coverage, but I don't really want it to be. I don't like the full coverage look, but maybe that's just because I don't know how to do it right to where it doesn't look like shit, you know? The two of us were fairly independent, latchkey sort of kids at that stage, and we were used to being home alone. So her parents decided they could trust us to stay there while they went to see a movie in the nearest town. At that time, they had just moved in and were renovating one of the last rooms, a walled-off part of their loft that my friend's family used as a box room. To keep the place tidy, they had their laundry up there drying off. I'm gonna add a little bit more into that one spot because it's not, I might have just blended it out too much, but you can still very clearly see it. My friend is really crafty, always recycling and upcycling random things, and I'm quite artistic, so we spent the night sewing and painting, listening to music, just having a great time. Her beloved dog Jess was out in the backyard at that point, which didn't bother us until she started to bark at the window, pacing as though she wanted my friend to follow her. My friend let her in the back door, and Jess dashed up the stairs past her, barking and growling. This is very strange behavior for her, as even around complete strangers, Jess has always been a softie who'd never hurt anyone, even if she herself was attacked. My best friend and I followed her up, a little confused, into the loft. Jess stood in front of the door to this room, her hair standing up as she barked. We opened the door. Nothing strange was going on at all, but Jess was scared. The night went on fine. Jess stayed in our room the whole time. When it was time to go to bed, I slept on the couch, as her parents didn't think it was appropriate to have us sleep in the same bed, and they wouldn't let me have theirs. I slept fine, periodically awoken by a weird sort of popping noise. Jess slept in my friend's room for the night. The door was closed, and she was still there when my friend woke up. When the both of us got up, there was a weird atmosphere in the house. Her parents seemed way less friendly than they normally were. Fearing it was my fault, I went back home early. I get pretty anxious about that sort of thing. Coming into school the next day, my friends say that I needn't have worried. They were angry at her. When her mom went in to get something out in the morning, she found a pair of my best friend's pajama bottoms torn into shorts, with scraps and pieces strewn across the room. Since my friend was crafty, they figured she'd stolen the pieces to make something, but she never took it. I knew which one she was talking about. They had little sleepy cartoon pigeons all over them. Came with a little shirt with a comic about her being less of an early bird and more of a permanently exhausted pigeon on it. I knew she loved them since she always made an effort to show them off. Her mom ended up blaming it on Jess, but the two of us knew that it was pretty unlikely. It is impossible, but the whole situation was just very weird, especially since Jess was house-trained and never broke anything. They also added and said, the area is sort of haunted in general. It's basically the remnants of an old mining town, part of which was gutted by a house fire in the 60s. You can still get into one of those houses. We found some weird shit in there, but mostly it seems like teenagers messing about. I'll send on some pics of the abandoned house. Oh, yes, hold on, let me actually pull that up. A few of the emails I got, 2 of them I think had pictures. I will throw them up on the screen because these are actually like freaky looking. So I will put them here. There's 4 of them. So I think the concealer is done. So we're gonna move on. Do I wanna mess around with the blush, or do I just want to straight up hop into the eyeshadow? I think I'm going to do the shadows, but I have to prime my eyes, so let's go ahead and do that. For eye primer, I use the Milani primer on the top, and then I usually go in with the Urban Decay one on the bottom, just because it's like lighter, so it helps cover the eye bags. So that's what I'm going to do, and then we're going to pull up the next story. This one is from Drea, and they said, I have a spirit friend named Mushroom. Okay, so the story doesn't really make the most sense to anyone but me. Hopefully it'll make sense to you because none of my family believes me. When I say I have a spirit friend named Mushroom, I don't really believe that Mushroom is a spirit. I have sleep paralysis pretty often, and whenever it occurs, I see a black figure shaped like a mushroom, but also shaped like a person. The head area is a mushroom, but the body is human. Whenever I started to realize that it was happening, it freaked me out for the longest time. I then started to see the figure in public, causing anxiety attacks. My parents didn't understand, but my mom decided to take me to a doctor anyway. I now have an appointment to see a psychiatrist, and Mushroom is now my friend. I often see Mushroom appear in areas of my house, and I honestly just laugh about it. I know Mushroom is just from the sleep paralysis, but it's still funny to see them appear randomly, especially considering the fact that I used to freak out every time I saw them. I'm not the most informed on sleep paralysis because I fortunately have not experienced it. So it's from sleep paralysis, but then how do you see it in public? Like, can things from sleep paralysis lead over to that? I don't know. The next one is from Narul. And they said, I have one, it happened 2 years ago. I'm studying at a boarding school. Every night, from Sunday to Thursday, we have to study or do the homeworks at the academy block from 8 to 10. My class and the other one was separated from the other 5 classes. One night, my friend from the other class started yelling for no reason. They thought she might be possessed since she had something following her when she was a kid. We called the teacher, and he said she was overdosed. That night went by That night went by with all the girls need to keep an eye on her. The next morning, my older sister, which had to go to the same school as me, told me about there's a girl wearing a blue dress walking around the seniors block last night, which is the same shirt as my friend wore. All the seniors were out for a rehearsal, but I can't remember for what, so no one was there. When I asked my friend about it, she said she didn't go to the block last night. They said that's just the demon trying to scare us for whatever reason. All I know is that there's something roaming around the school, as the friend of mine saw them several times. It's a bit cliche, but I wanted to share it for fun. Sorry for the broken English. Do not apologize for broken English. I do not expect you to speak English, and I appreciate your effort. Next one is from Haley Westbrook, and I'm already excited because the first sentence says, Ouija board stories are the best, LMAO, and this one is crazy. So I'm very excited because I have my Ouija board on the wall. I love Ouija boards. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the eyeshadow now. I'm gonna do one eye with this palette and one eye with this palette. So my friend and I were at our friend's house. Let's call her Rachel. Rachel has a Ouija board and we kind of wanted to try it just to see if it was legit and if it lived up to the hype or whatever. Anyway, she boasted about knowing a spirit guide, which she said, hold on. Okay, sorry. I'm just making sure I'm still in frame. Anyway, she boasted about knowing a spirit guide, which she said is who you talk to through the board. Just a disclaimer, I'm not a religious person, so I don't believe in spirits or demons or any supernatural or high power. So I don't know what the fuck happened. So we all sit down, and my friend is nervous, but I'm like, whatever, nothing is going to happen. I've heard a million stories where nothing happens. Rachel starts talking to the spirit and asking it questions about the future and will she get a boyfriend and stupid shit, and the planchette is moving across the board and they're all screaming and giggling, and I'm convinced they're moving it themselves and pretending that Andress, the spirit guide, who is apparently like 1,000 years old, is the one who is talking to them. So the terrifying conclusion to the story comes when Rachel's older sister comes home and sees that we're using the Ouija board and asks us if we've met Andress. At this point, I'm like, are they serious? Like, do they seriously believe in the spirit guy? And then Rachel is like, yeah, and she asks me if I want to have a turn talking to Andress. I'm like, sure I will, because I knew or thought that they were fucking with me. So I placed the planchette on the board, and Rachel's sister asked Andress how he's been, and I'm like kind of rolling my eyes inwardly, and then it moves. The planchette fucking moves to the letter Y, and I'm barely touching it, and I jerk back really fast, and Rachel's sister laughs at me. I'm like, okay, that was just me doing that. My fingers must have slipped or something. So I do it again, and the planchette is just fucking gliding across the board, and I'm freaking out inside as it like flies maniacally from letter to letter. They write it all down, and it spells out, your sister kept me up all night. I'm like, what the fuck? Because it's the middle of the day, and Rachel's sister just laughs. She's literally just sitting there laughing like she and Immortal Andress are old besties, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Rachel said she was using the Ouija board the previous night, which I had no idea happened, and they were like chatting casually, and I'm freaking out. So that's the tea. Also, the room was noticeably colder after we were done, and I didn't realize until I noticed I was shivering and it was the middle of the summer. There was nobody else home but us, so no one could have changed the thermostat because none of us left the room. To this day, it's the creepiest thing I've ever witnessed ever, and I'm still not sure what happened or how it happened or who the fuck Andress is. But get this. I've looked up spirits called Andress, and according to the Christian religion, there's one named Andress. I'm not saying demons are real because I don't believe in them, but I mean like, and then a bunch of question marks. As I'm writing this, it totally sounds made up, but I swear it isn't. Like, if you knew me in real life, you know I'm a realist. I believe in science. I believe what I can see, and it was just crazy. Anyways, I don't talk to her anymore because we go to different schools now, but whatever. Whenever I see anything to do with a Ouija board, I think about that, LOL. I don't think I'm haunted, but who knows? If hell is real, at least I'll know somebody there. Oh my gosh. Also, side note, why does ColourPop add, like, random sparkles to shades that don't really need them? They're doing that with like one shade in every quad from the Animal Crossing collab, and I don't really get why they're doing that, but this shade is really cute. Okay, this is really cute. Okay, so far so good. Next story. This next one is from Are You Done Yet, Bigot? I love the name on that. There's this one time where I went to Amelia Island when I was in middle school, and we went to the Hoyt House Inn. There I met this ghost girl named Haley, and she had met me in my room upstairs while I was asleep, had waited for me to wake up, floating above me, just staring at me. Her mother, I assumed, was in the room next door, also dead, who just walked back and forth between the two rooms adjacent to ours. We also went on a ghost tour, which was usually full of scammers, but the lady who was doing the tour ended up just being a huge ghost fanatic. She had asked me and a bunch of other people if they were clairvoyant. She asked about my story at the Hoyt house and started shrieking, was super excited, and began quizzing me on what my experiences were. She had also asked me to find locations of ghosts. Sometimes she doubted me, sometimes she didn't. At the last part of our trip, there was a guy who was just making fun of ghosts the whole time, and he said he didn't believe in them. We heard a loud smack when we were at the graveyard, and it turned out it was his stomach. He lifted up his shirt, and there was a huge handprint with one around him. He got bitch slapped by a ghost? Imagine being bitch slapped by a ghost. That's kind of hilarious. Wait, so that means you're clairvoyant then? Which is fucking tight. Fun fact, me and my sister, our senior year, oh my god, this shade is so good. Me and my sister, senior year of high school, we tried to make like this short film. We ended up not filming it just because of time and funds, and we go to like different colleges and stuff, but I still have the script about like this girl named Claire who was clairvoyant, really clever, I know. But it was stupid. It was like a coming of age thing about Claire being dead. Or not Claire, no. The other one was, I don't remember the other one's name. So Claire was seeing her dead best friend and was like in denial that she killed herself. Because they were like supposed to, grow up and do everything together and go to the same college and stuff. And so basically Claire is like convinced that someone murdered her best friend. But the best friend, she can see because Claire is clairvoyant. So the best friend is like there the whole time, kind of as like, the snarky, fun little best friend being like, hey bitch, I killed myself, deal with it. There was more to it, but that was the gist. And maybe one day I will make that a reality. And I don't know why I just started talking about that. I think because the topic of clairvoyance reminded me of it, but yeah. So far, not horrible. My nose is really itchy. I'm sorry, I'm not picking my nose. It's just like weirdly itchy. Do I want to do Play It Cool? Or do I want to do Ew, I hate that name. Mojito Mommy. I'm going to do Mojito Mommy, ew, in the center. And then I'll do Play It Cool on the outer corner. This one is from V, like V-E. And they said, oh, beach. Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, bitch. Okay, well, my dad and I were at Staples buying a calculator I needed. It was already late and we were the only ones there. After we were checking out the office chairs, then I heard this chain-like sound and there was nobody. We shrugged it off and continued to look at the chairs. Then we saw a chair slowly spinning by itself and my dad and I were like, those emojis. My dad has always had strange spiritual encounters since he was a child, so I'll probably ask him for more stories. Okay, I love you so much. Thank you. I love you too. Staples are kind of creepy, right? Like, we can all admit Staples just seems like a little bit of a cursed place. Like, Staples and rest in peace, Toys R Us. Oh my god, this is so pretty. You can't see it. Old department stores just always felt cursed, Toys R Us had a weird energy. Alrighty then, what's all this? What the fuck am I doing? I don't know. I'm really sorry to any British people ever. The next one is from Mars. I poked my eyeball. Didn't feel good. My skin does not look good. That's a little embarrassing. Next story. It's not that scary, but one day I was hanging out with a friend, and at the end of the day, we both waited at the mall lobby, waiting for each of our Ubers. Hers arrived before mine, so she left first, and I eventually was alone. It wasn't that late, but there wasn't any more people in the mall, and at the lobby, there was only me and a security guard, and he wasn't standing anywhere near me. He was closer to the mall entrance, and I was standing further outside. It took a while for my Uber to arrive, so I texted my mom about it, and she said something like, "Stay safe, it's getting dark." She says that a lot, but But somehow at that time, it kind of scared me. But I'm a dramatic bitch sometimes, so I try not to think much about it. Eventually my Uber arrived, so I walked towards the car and went in. I greeted the driver, closed the door. Usually right after that, the drivers would just drive away, but this dude stayed silent until I greeted him the second time. He was kind of startled, but greeted me back this time. But then he said, "Is it just you?" That in itself is creepy, but I answered that yes, it is just me, which somehow startled him again. I didn't get a chance to ask what's the matter when he said, "When I drove towards you, there was a girl standing behind you. She even followed you when you walked towards me, so I thought you had a friend, but I guess not." I kid you not, I got shivers immediately because I swear to anything, I was alone. No one was in the lobby. No one was standing next to me at all. Who could it be? The security guard? He's a literal big dude, and the driver specifically said whoever, whatever was following me is a girl. Besides, if someone was actually following me, I would have noticed. So yeah, that's it. I know it's not that scary, but even now when I think about it, it still gives me the chills. Stay safe, everyone. Bitch, you just said it's not that scary. That's probably the scariest one I've read so far. No offense to everyone else, but fuck that. I thought that was going to be like an Uber horror story because Uber, first of all, Uber terrifies me. I hate Ubers. Okay. I don't like getting into strangers' cars at all just because I'm awkward, but I understand the convenience of Uber and Lyft and whatnots when you need them. So my thing with that, if you're going to do that, unless this rule has changed, which if it has, let me know. But from the last time I remember, Uber does not do background checks on their drivers. I don't know if that's changed. I hope it has because a lot of horrible things have happened to people that got into Ubers. And that freaks me the fuck out. And I don't like it. So I use Lyft. When I don't need to use it very often, but when I do, it's Lyft because they do background checks. Next one is from Paige. That's a good shade. Period. I'm really hungry. My tummy is starting to hurt. Paige said, "This isn't too scary, but when I was 5, I lived in an old colonial home in New York. My bathroom was connected to my bedroom, so I would leave my bathroom door open when I would use it just because why not? So one day I was using my bathroom and the door is open and I look out to my bedroom and I see a little blonde boy running around in circles in my room. He had like a red shirt and blue shorts, and it sounded like he was laughing and making toddler noises. I wasn't really bothered by it for some reason, LMAO. What? I looked again and he was gone. I was an only child at the time, so it couldn't have been one of my siblings. Then when I was 7, I lived in Maryland in a kind of older home, but not really. Again, I was in the bathroom, and of course I had the door open again. When I was washing my hands, I saw a lady with brown hair walk through the hallway outside the bathroom. I thought it was my mom, but she has very blonde hair, and when I looked out into the hallway, the lady was gone. When my mom got up for the day, I asked her if she had gone downstairs at all, and she said no, so yeah, haha. I love the casualness while you speak about seeing 2 ghosts while you're taking a pee. I feel very vulnerable in bathrooms. But I used to leave my bathroom door open all the time. And then I moved into a house with 8 men, so I don't do that. Actually, I do it sometimes whenever it's like 4 a.m. The very odd time and uncommon time where I stay up super late, which I don't do because, again, I'm secretly an old person. And I can go pee with the door open without consequence. It's the best. This person, ooh, it's separated into paragraphs. Thank you. It's going to help my little brain process the words better. Little bit of fallout, but it's okay. Honestly, I really like ColourPop's formula. But I don't, have a lot of experience with, many brands, you know? Okay, the fallout's a little bit annoying, but it's okay. So this next story is from Natasha R., who started off by saying, "I think I'm haunted." So already very excited to read this. So basically, when I was showering today, I saw a weird person-shaped shadow from behind my shower curtain. Fuck no, baby. I brushed it aside, knowing that nobody was in there. How do you know that? Are you gonna... No. Showers are the most vulnerable place. I came out of the shower and my cabinets and mirror cabinet were open. The stuff in my mirror cabinet was all rearranged. Everybody in my house knows not to touch my mirror cabinet. My clothes were put in a pile in the corner. I was so freaked out because this has happened before a few times. The weird part was, it couldn't have been anyone from my family. I had locked the door, so my bathroom is basically where you enter. The sinks are on your right, along with the cabinets and the mirror cabinet. When you walk forward to another door which leads to the toilet and the shower. I locked both of those doors, ensuring that nobody could come in. There's one window, but there's no way to come in or come out. I'm on the second floor and it's just a window without any latches. And I asked my family if anyone came in and they all said no. Sometimes when I'm sitting in my room, I hear text notifications. I have one phone and my computer doesn't send any notifications, not to mention that my mom takes away my phone and laptop at night, so it wouldn't be my phone. When I'm sleeping, I always hear noises coming from my room. My egg chair literally starts moving at night. Sometimes my LED lights flash on and off and the power goes off in my room. And sometimes all of the things that are plugged in inside of my room turn on. The power doesn't do this in any of my other family members' rooms. And randomly stuff falls off my walls. Something happens to me when I sleep too. I'm an active sleeper, but sometimes I wake up in the morning and stuff has fallen off my walls. Then I distantly remember myself taking it off the wall and going back to sleep. It's weird, I don't know. Sometimes when I'm sleeping, I rewrite stuff on my whiteboard because I wake up in the morning with a whole new whiteboard, or I take all the sheets off my bed. It's probably nothing, I hope. What a casual, y'all are so casual about this shit, and I usually am pretty casual about, like, ghost stuff just because I grew up in a haunted house, and I live in this old-ass 1840s or whatever-ass house now, which has plenty of ghosts, but I'm not that casual about it. Y'all are... I love my fans. Y'all are on one in the nicest way possible. Look at this pigment! I look good. Sorry, I'm weirdly high energy. I woke up at like 9 a.m. and I was like ready to take on the world for no reason at all. And I tried to wake my boyfriend up by biting him and he didn't like it, so I went home. And that is a true story. Literally, is there a right way to deal with Fallout? Because I don't know what it is. So if I could have someone tell me what it is, that'd be appreciated. Okay, this one, but it's from Jester. Hi, Jester. How are you doing? I love seeing you comment on my things. You're a very supportive person, and I appreciate that. Okay, so Jester says, my family has a huge history of weird-ass shit happening to us, so here's a bunch because I'm procrastinating on working. Oh, this is a lot. Okay. My mom has told me stories about how every night for 2 years after her grandmother's death, as she was trying to fall asleep, her grandmother would walk into her room and sit in a rocking chair, and they would stay up talking for hours. My mom was really young at the time, so she just kind of went along with it, only to realize her grandmother had been dead the entire time. We're moving on to the blush. This lighting is really not doing it for me. Okay, Hydro Grip kind of made my skin look a little strange, but it's okay. So we're moving on to the Sailor Moon blush. I don't want to mess up the cat. I also don't have a blush brush, so yes, I am using an eye shadow brush, and y'all are gonna deal with it. Okay, yeah, the little, cause I don't know if y'all can tell, there is like a sparkle to it, but you literally can barely tell. This is actually really pretty. I look like I have a sunburn, but like in a cute way, you know? I think I don't know, this spot right here on my face is like, it's messing everything up. It's not blending. It doesn't look good. I don't know what is happening up here. I'm not going to judge too harshly based off of this area of the face because it's like, looks good everywhere else. Next story. This is still from Jester though. One time my mom and her friends were playing with a Ouija board that they 100% thought was fake. So they sat around it and promised each other not to move it around to see if anything would actually take control. Eventually, it started moving and talking about one of the girls' boyfriends and the red jacket he was wearing. They got freaked out and stopped using it, but 15 minutes later, they got a call and the boyfriend had gotten into a fatal car accident while wearing a red jacket. Next story. Less of a creepy story, but I've had a history of randomly having memories that haven't happened yet and dreaming full days that eventually happen, and it's the scariest thing. I talked about this in my astrology video. Why does that happen? I will have a vivid image of me in a place and be able to describe gut feelings to and will be able to describe down to the clothes and lighting of a place months before the situation will ever happen. I also have a terrifyingly accurate gut feelings to things. Sorry, I don't know how to talk, I guess. But it's not as interesting as the rest. My grandmother, who also has like clairvoyant dreams, to the point of the morning that my mom found out she was pregnant with me, she had gotten a call from my grandmother asking if she was expecting because she had a dream about my birth. Let's throw a little highlight on, and then I can do brows and lash, and then fuck around with that little glitter. We are going into the James Charles palette for the highlight because I didn't buy a highlighter. I look like I dipped my face in grease, but in a cute way. That is way too much. Who do I think I am? The Hydro Grip made my eyebrows kind of crunchy. It almost feels like soap brow, which I kind of fuck with. It's actually not that bad. I look a little busted. I look a little busted, but it's okay. They could be worse. I'm gonna leave them at that because they could be worse, and I kind of like how they look right now. Next story. This one is from, the user is just called I Don't Know. My family has a collection of spooky stories, but today I'm just going to talk about the one that happened to my sister-in-law. So at first, my family and my brother's family were all at my sister's house. We had just eaten breakfast and everybody was in different places. I was in the living room. My sister-in-law was walking through the living room when she somehow fell backwards at the doorway and grazed the side of her head on the corner of the coffee table and passes out. When she wakes up, she said that she felt as if her hair had been pulled back by something. A few days later, she falls by the doorway again, and because she's tall, her head dangles over the shallow ledge of the front porch and almost face plants into the stepping stones that are embedded on the grass. When my brother's family came back to their home, a few things started to happen. One time, my sister-in-law was found to be purposefully running her head into a wall. Another time, she was changing her daughter's diaper when suddenly my niece started crying and my sister-in-law's tone and voice started changing. She said, "Oh, child, why are you crying? This is your mom. See, your mom. Stop crying," with a smile on her face. And at that time, my father was there because he was the one who usually took care of stuff like this, and he was notified of what was going on. My dad has a friend, and his friend has some kind of connection and knowledge about supernaturals and things like that. So prior to this baby incident, my dad's friend told my dad to take some soil from my grandma's grave, mix it with some water, and splash it on my sister-in-law when she is possessed. So my dad did that. He splashed it on her, and she screamed, saying, "How dare you give me anything from that old bitch?" And after that, my sister-in-law got back to normal. Anyway, long story short, they found out that the one responsible was my brother's co-worker, who was claiming that she was in love with my brother, but my dad's friend found out that she's been doing this to other families to break them apart, gain power, and get money. When they try to get the parasite out from my sister-in-law's body, they found out that it hid in body parts that the supernatural men can touch, like my sister-in-law's chest and vagina. What? She was supposed to die had my brother refused to go with the coworker, but I don't know, they did some rituals on my sister-in-law and she was fine afterwards. Huh? That was a lot. That was a lot to unpack. Also, okay, those of you that have the Milk Kush mascara, how do you like it? Because I kind of like it, but it also makes it a little chunky, which I'm not like the biggest fan of. I've been getting a lot of comments asking for a video of just the rats, okay? And I'm here to tell y'all right now that you can stop asking because it's on my list. It is coming, and it's probably coming soon. And then just for fun, we're gonna go in with the Tiny Nugget pressed glitter, and we're just gonna put a little bit on my cheeks. Ooh, she's wet. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. Oh yeah, this is definitely something for like ACL or Coachella for my non-Texans, or Glastonbury for my non-Americans. Okay. This is good. This is great. Thank you. It's definitely not, you know, natural looking, but I don't care. Oh, that's really cool. That's really nice. Final step is chapstick because I'm in desperate need of it. So I've got the Glossier Bomb.com and it's the like limited edition wild fig one. I literally just got these like a week or so ago, and I already lost one. Like, I have a feeling I know where it is. It's just kind of like, did you really just lose one after you just fucking got them? Yes, I did. I look sunburned. I definitely look sunburned. It's definitely, I made a choice. I don't know if it was a good one. The Hydro Grip made me look really greasy. So I'm not a fan of that. I don't know. This also isn't like the best lighting. That's not what I wanted to do. I meant to take a picture and I just stopped recording, so I had to start again. I'm trying to give you all the full effect, okay? I look greasy and I look sunburned, but it's kind of fun. The eyes look cool, I think. And yeah. I'm gonna shut this now because it's just, I just dropped my brushes. That's gonna be it for this video. That was a lot, but this was very, very fun and relaxing, and I love just sitting and talking to you guys. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, be sure to like and subscribe and comment down below. Comment what your favorite story was. And I'm sorry if I didn't get to your stories, because y'all really came through. Y'all left me a lot of things. So I'm definitely down to do a part 2 of this if this is something that y'all are interested in. But yeah, thank you. Wait, should I look for the thumbnail? Should I look scared? Should I be like